Hello. Somebody just pointed out to me that I'm wearing the colours of the papacy, white and yellow. Quite true. It wasn't intentional, and I've been doing so for a little while. But anyway, I thought it's quite interesting that there's rumours running around in Italy at the moment and in the Vatican that Pope Francis is about to retire. Now, where do these rumours come from? They come from uh, a certain, a story which has been put together to suggest that we knew all along that Pope Benedict was going to retire. I think this is the media being a little bit wise after the event. There was a fellow called Pope Celestine V, and he was the last pope to retire before Benedict. And Pope Celestine V was a hermit. In 1294 he became pope, and he was actually the only pope to be crowned outside Rome. And in his resignation text, remember, Benedict gave us 2 weeks' notice that he was resigning. I think Pope Celestine V was even quicker about it, but he said that he wanted, he was longing for tranquility, for humility, for a purer life, for a clean conscience, for health, for freedom from the perversity of others, and for freedom from ignorance. He could have been writing that today, the perversity of others. Clearly he was feeling under attack, as indeed any pope or leader would feel in the modern age. Now, Benedict visited Pope Celestine V's shrine, his tomb, in April 2009, and 4 years later he resigned. But the thing that is telling is he left his pallium. The pallium is a strange thing. It's like a sort of giant necklace made out of a sort of woolen strips with a little piece at the front and a little piece at the back, crosses on it, and the bit at the front and the back has got is dyed black. And it's called a pallium. It's a gift specifically from popes to senior church leaders. And since Paul VI, it's been one of the major insignia the Pope wears, particularly when he's celebrating the Eucharist and when he's acting liturgically. Of course, in the past, there were other vestments to indicate that he was the Pope, though he was also wearing the pallium. The pallium is one of the few things left after Pope Paul VI changes, when he took off the tiara and gave that away. Though the tiara was very rarely worn, certainly in the last 2 centuries. Now, Celestine V died in LAquila. LAquila is up in the north of Italy, and it was hit by a big earthquake in 2009. You may recall this was the place that then tried the seismologists for not alerting people to the threat of an earthquake. But otherwise, it was one of these places, it was the place where John Paul II, the Polish Pope, used to stop when he was skiing. And he celebrated Mass in a small church, the church of San Pietro della Lenca, and that's got a shrine to him. So there are 2 reasons really for a pope to pay a pastoral visit to LAquila. One is, of course, to see the tomb of Pope Celestine V, and the other is to see the shrine to St. John Paul II. Now, Francis, and this is why the rumour mongers have started spreading their rumours, Francis plans a trip to LAquila in August, and oddly, he has called a consistory, that is when all the cardinals get together so he can create new cardinals, in August. In August! August is the traditional time in Rome when nothing happens, when everybody goes to the seaside, or when the Pope goes to Casa Gandolfo. So why has he called this consistory then. There are a number of foreign trips planned for next year, including a trip to Kazakhstan. But Francis has now been seen publicly in a wheelchair. He's having great difficulty moving. He was hospitalized last year for about 11 days, and significantly, he is now 85 years old. 85 is the age that Pope Benedict was when he retired. Priests retire at 70. Bishops retire at 75. Cardinals can no longer vote at 80. 85, maybe this is going to be the new age for retirement for popes. But it still does beg the question, why would foreign trips have been planned for next year if the Pope had it so clearly in mind that he was going to retire? I have no idea. But there we are. That's the rumour, and one or two people have written to me on YouTube and say, I should do more things about religion, and I'm very happy to do so. Religion and English, rather than this constant diet of politics, but I'm not going to stop the constant diet of politics. It's too exciting at the moment. Politics, what is politics? Politics is simply the art of living in community. It comes from the Greek word polis, the city. Politics is about being urbane. Politics is about being civilized. Civilization, civilized, another word which comes from the word for city, but the Latin word, cives. So there we are. And we can be urbane, another word from the word for city, urbs. Have fun.